Hey, this is Deborah. I sent some today. I sent 3 questions. Let me see if I can find them. Let's see. Where are my questions? Uh-oh.
Here they are.
Oh, you see them? Oh,
Mhm.
wonderful.
The total course points is 180, I think. So 80% is 128 points.
No, I don't mean of this course. I mean of my courses. So I've been creating my courses, but I don't see any place where it shows the total course points available.
Let me look here and see if I can see it. You mean like how many points you've put in so far?
No, how many total? So if I, for example, have, I don't know, 10 assignments worth 20 points each, I don't see where it says 200 points are available. I don't see the cumulative anywhere.
Okay, let me look.
It seems to tally at the end of some period of time, the percentage, but I'm not sure even what that percentage is. Is it the percentage of the week? I don't know what it is.
All right, let me look. Okay, so it's going to total each of your categories. So for instance, in our class, we have hands-on assignments, quizzes, and discussions. So it tallies each of those individually as a category.
Right.
I'm gonna do like this. Okay.
Uh-oh.
My dogs are like my best friends right now because I've got pizza on the table.
I know that one too. The minute you pull food out, they're so good. Oh, sitting, waiting.
They're just like, I know something is gonna fall.
Yeah.
When I'm making dinner or my husband's salad at night, they're just like, drop something. Drop.
Yeah. My dog's the same way. She's right under my feet waiting for the drop.
Literally. Okay. So this is the grades, and then I just moved it over so I didn't have any people. It sets it up, hands-on assignment, quizzes, discussions, and total percentage of that person on the items that you graded. So if you've not graded anything, it'll say, or if you've graded 3 assignments and then not given zeros for assignments they didn't do,
right.
100.
Right.
Like if you gave them 100% on 3 assignments.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always important to add zeros for students, because just because you put in a grade doesn't mean they can't turn it in. So that's one of the reasons why I try to put zeros in kind of proactively when people haven't done things, because sometimes it sends them a note too, and then they get kind of like, oh crap, I have zeros.
Yeah, but so that's really disappointing that there's no way, that there's no place though that says to a student, there's 2,000 points available to you in this course.
Yeah, and I'm not, their view is different. Well, yours, I mean, when you look at our class, can you see a total?
No. I don't think so.
Okay.
I thought I checked. Does anybody see that?
Yeah, I think it gives you a total of the assignments that she's graded.
Right. But it doesn't, do you see where it gives
Not
a total?
Cumulative total.
Not a cumulative total, yeah.
Right.
I know it has like a hypothetical.
Right.
You can type scores in and see what your score would be. Let me look.
That's in the student view, right? Or is that in our view too? Is it?
That's in your view when you're a student.
Right. And do they call it like the what if or something?
I, as the teacher, I'm not sure because I don't see it.
Okay.
Let's see. So I do know that they're making a lot of changes in the grade book.
Okay.
That was one of the things that they talked about at InstructureCon, which was the conference that they just had. I saw that that was something coming up. And so they're making a lot of changes that I believe are going to fully roll out. I think it said in the article I read January. So some schools can agree to be beta testers and use them, but you can follow along in the Canvas community, and they talk about the new things that are coming.
Okay.
Okay, so
And where do you get to that? How do you get to that?
This is in the Canvas community. So I searched for gradebook total points because I wanted to see if there was, that's what I do a lot of times when I want to do something in Canvas, is I look in the community to see if somebody else has talked about it. So you saw my list of how I have all those course cards for all those sandboxes. So I wanted to know when I taught this class the first time if I could rearrange the course cards, because I would have put them in like alphabetical order by student or something like that, because they had named them whatever they wanted. Now that you guys use your last name in the course name, it automatically alphabetizes it, but I wanted to rearrange how I wanted to, and you can't. So I found that out by searching for it, and somebody else had asked about it, and they had said that although it was a very popular request, the programming to do it was so complicated that they felt that their efforts were better done somewhere else. So.
Okay.
Well, thank you for looking.
You're welcome. Yeah, I don't see that, Deborah. I don't. And you know how it is with searching. I could have called it the wrong thing.
Right. Okay. How do I determine the total number of points?
How do I determine the total number of points in a course? So, and somebody asked it in March. And so then you'll have some people that'll answer that are just other users.
Right.
People that answer that work for Canvas. Okay. I'm assuming that since this has a star, somebody with Canvas said this was right. You know what I mean?
Right. And then it shows, this is showing total possible points. Okay. Yeah.
And so this kind of tells.
You have to weight the grade in order to see the total percent.
Yeah.
Well, it says you're weighted, you can't see it.
Okay.
It says you can hover over the top of the total column where it says total. Click on the pull down arrow. When you do this, you'll be given the option to switch to points, and it switches the grade from percentage grade to the number of points the students earned so far, but that still doesn't
give you a cumulative. Yeah.
Right. So here it says, click the gear, treat ungraded as 0. You should then be able to mouse over the grade in the total column for your test student and see the total number of points earned over the total number of points in the course.
Well, honestly, I would hate to be held to a total number in my course.
Well, and that's one of the things in this course we tell you that it's 180 points. You know, we tell you that because I'm not changing anything.
Right.
Course is set. But I know when I was teaching high school classes, it was like, well, we need to review. I'm going to have to throw out those 3 assignments I had planned for the next unit because I need to review. I taught math. It's like, they're not going to get it. We can't do that next assignment. And so if I had told them the points, they would not have known.
Okay.
It would have changed. or you have to add an assignment or take out a test or change the number of points of a test. What I do personally when I'm trying to find a total number of points is I go into the grade book and then I export it right here where it says export as a Excel file. And then, but Excel is easy for me, so it's easy for me to do that, you know.
Yeah, but you shouldn't have to do that. I'm going to,
Yeah.
yeah, we should. I mean, there's so much functionality in here. It seemed that should be an option.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that may be coming since I know they are revamping the grade book. That's coming. They just changed all these little icons like right before that conference. It was like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, these are all different. These little line drawings, because they used to be more of an icon, and it looked like a conversation bubble, like one conversation bubble, and it was green. And now it's these little line drawings. So I'm assuming that's all part of the new gradebook rollout.
And I guess if you click on that icon, it shows you what you said, or it shows the running. Is that?
Well, kind of. I'm in like a teacher gradebook, so you can't click on the icon. You have to go into the cell and then click on this upper right-hand corner.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. And then it says more details in SpeedGrader, and it'll pop you to the SpeedGrader.
Okay.
Which is what I always do, because you can't see a whole lot in the gradebook. You can only see the if the comments that were made, and if there was a submission made that was like a link, it'll show, and then you can click on it. If it's posted, they posted comments, you can see them. But I always go to the SpeedGrader. I never actually grade right here in the gradebook, except when I'm putting in zeros.
So if I want to, I want to change topics, can I?
Okay, of course.
So I love the Zoom, and I set up in Zoom my office hours, which I thought was a great idea. But now, in order for my students to go there immediately, do I attach a link? I mean, how do I let students know that I've set that these are available for them?
I would, just like I put them in the announcement, and you see the login, that URL that's there for the particular meeting. Set up the Zoom. I set it up to be a recurring meeting.
Yeah.
And then so it's the same link every time.
Oh, so it's not a different link every time. Okay.
Right. So if you're doing a private meeting, okay, so if I said, Amy, let's meet, and then I wanted to make sure that nobody else was coming, I would send you a single use link, or one, not the same one as the class, because I wouldn't want anybody else to pop in, say we're going to talk about grades, or we're going to talk about something like that. But for just like this, I just use the same link over and over again, because it's easier than trying to remember and keep track of all the different links for the different meetings. Sometimes you could make, one for your Monday night class, one for your Tuesday night class, or one for this office hours, one for that office hours, or something like that. But I prefer to use the same one. And you could put the link on your homepage. You could just say, these are my office hours. This is where you'll find me. And the link will take them there.
Okay, I'll redo that. And it's zoom.org, right? Or zoom.
It should be conferzoom.org. Where you at, Amy?
What?
You're at Fullerton, right?
Yeah.
So all of the California Community College faculty and staff have access to a free pro account through Zoom. So
right.
At conferzoom.org, you just have to use your email address.
Yeah, I know I set it up, but I forgot now.
That's okay.
Okay. All right. I'll check that out again.
Yeah, and then you can check in profile and it'll tell you if you have a pro account or a basic account.
Okay. And we have access to the pro account, right?
You do. You just have to sign up at conferzoom.org with .edu email address.
Okay.
And then if you didn't, if you signed up at zoom.us, you just contact them and say, I'm with California Community Colleges. I didn't realize when I signed up that I used the wrong link. Can you change the account over to a pro account? And they will.
Okay. All right.
Hi, Lourdes. How are you?
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm all right. I just wanted to catch you and see how this works. I was really curious because I missed all the other classes. I didn't even know what this was. So I'm really excited. I like what you just discussed with, I can't even pronounce her name. Oh my goodness.
Yes, Amy.
Yeah. Regarding office hours, I think it's a great opportunity for students to actually see you and talk to you somehow to you and not via email, especially when you teach online classes. So I like that idea a lot. More than anything, I wanted to see how this works. That's why I decided to catch you.
Yeah, and I like it because it's super easy. So I had one student that was stuck, and I said, hey, let's meet. I texted my phone number, and I said, text me and tell me when we can Zoom. And they were like, I don't know how to Zoom, and I'm really not tech savvy. And I was like, oh, it's okay. Just go click the link that I put in the announcement. I said, I can't Zoom with you right now, but go click the link and see if you can get in and text me, because the link's pretty easy, right?
Yeah.
Nobody believes me when I say that. It's super easy. You don't have to know how to do it. And so he texted me back and he's like, I got it. I'm in. And so then I said, okay. And so then later on that night when I was home again, I said, okay, we can Zoom now. And so then he just knew. He could just pop in and it was no big deal. So.
Right. It's intimidating, even for me. But
right.
Students now, the new generation of students, they're so technical, and so I just believe that giving them this opportunity, it's maybe they can multitask. They could be probably reading their emails and at the same time somehow stay and talk to you.
Right. Or listen to what you're saying or show you their work. And well, with everything, right, you need an account. So then that's something that throws people off, because it's like, no, you don't need an account. Just click the link. Just click the link.
Yeah. Yeah. Very convenient. I love it. I just can't wait to really use Canvas to its fullest. It's a little different. So I'm still learning how to edit my profile. So I thought I edited by adding my picture and writing my name there. Then I realized last night that it's actually more to it than just editing my profile, for example. It's like, okay, it says that I have to add links, and it says that Lourdes has not added links yet. So what links are we talking about?
So the link that I put in there is the one to the @ONE homepage. Or if you have a website for your class, you could put that link there. If you want your students to be able to connect with you on Facebook, or you have a Facebook group, you could put that link there. But you don't have to put it. It just gives you an option. But one thing that we found out through one of the other students is every time you click edit on the profile, you have to put the link in again. It goes away. I don't know why, but it does. And so you have to put it back in. And
okay. So it could be just any. So would you recommend that the links there could better be something, ways of communicating or getting further information? I mean, what are the links that you probably would not recommend? A YouTube link or some to a video or what? What would you not recommend?
A YouTube link a lot of times would be kind of a one-time use thing. And I would link that maybe they want to access more often. That's why I put the @ONE website there because, you know, different people might want to do that. Go to the At One website. And once you've set your profile, you're not really going to change it. You know, once you've set it and got it set up, it's going to stay and you're going to use it year after year or semester after semester.
Right.
Really change. So what I would want to put in there is something that I'm not going to have to go in and update and have another thing that I have to remember that, oh, the new class, I need to go change that.
Okay. What about importing things? Like I have been, you know, an Etudes user, and I have already composed, you know, several, you know, items there. What do you know about importing or exporting or how do we? Is there a way that we can transfer anything from Etudes? Do you know? Or
Yes, there is. Let me check. I think there's actually a page in the class about it. Don't talk about it, but it's I think there's a resource page.
Okay.
There is one for Blackboard. I really think there is one. Let me go all the way down to the bottom.
I thought, is she talking about exporting a class?
Yeah, moving from one thing to another.
Not a class necessarily, but you know how once we start using Canvas, we will be importing. Are we there?
Yeah, this is the module.
You know, we will be importing files from one class to another, from one semester to another. So
Okay,
is there a way that we can import files from Etudes to Canvas?
I saw in settings, now I could be wrong, but in settings, there was a feature, over in the right-hand margin in settings, it said, I just saw it today, that you could export the class or.
From a different website. From a different.
Oh, see, I don't know. Okay,
Okay.
sorry.
Okay.
I misunderstood. I should be quiet.
Okay. Well, here it is. This is what you're looking at. Import and export.
Right.
Okay. That's what you're looking at. But here, if you go to modules in our class, all the way down at the bottom, it says supplemental resources. And here it says moving from another LMS. And there's Etudes right there.
Okay. Okay.
And so it's a content page.
Okay.
That tells you how to do it.
Yay. All righty. That takes care of my problem. It was made me work. Very good. Very good. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right.
Okay. So yeah, and so if you're on Desire to Learn, Desire to Learn, or Blackboard, or Moodle, there was a page there.
Okay.
For that. Yeah, Blackboard, Etudes, Moodle, and D2L.
Okay, cool. Very nice.
From the other one, Angel something. I can't help it. But they have it in the Canvas community. Also, they have all the migration. You can just search, you know, to import from, is that what it's called, Angel? From any of the other ones, and it'll come up with the documents telling you how to do it.
Okay, wonderful.
Just remember when you're coming from, I'm most familiar with the Blackboard one, but when you come in, it's not going to look exactly like it did in your Blackboard class. So Blackboard has all these different screens and every different announcement, and it's going to take everything and make it into a separate page. So you don't want to do it, you know, you definitely want to give yourself time to go in and tweak it once you import it, because it's not going to be like, let me import it and then I'm ready to go.
Translation. Okay.
Yeah, it's not going to work that way. They're two different languages, so you definitely want to give yourself some time to revamp it and make it the way you want to.
Perfect. Good. All right.
you can Zoom with your students, Alan, anytime you want. So let me see. Can you see this? My Zoom account thing?
Yeah.
Okay. So I create, you can make, here's your home, and you can schedule a meeting. So when it's for my office hours, I title it like Angela's office hours or Angela's Tuesday office hours or however I want to do it. And then here I can put recurring meeting, and it takes away that date. So it's not only good at that date and time going. And then you can make these selections.
Where you're in it right now?
I'm in Zoom, but this is not the web page.
Oh, okay.
Zoom I downloaded to my computer, but I will show you what it looks like on the page too. So when you're in Confer Zoom, I only signed in like 3 times. Okay. If you go to profile first, this will tell you if you have a pro account or not.
Okay. And how do you make a conference time recurring? Where is that set at? The meeting settings?
Okay, what was that? I'm sorry, Amy, go ahead.
Oh, how do you make the meeting reoccurring?
Like
So is that a setting?
Day at a certain time?
Yeah.
Okay, so this particular room, this is my profile. It tells me I have a pro account. It tells me what my personal meeting ID is. So that means that it's kind of not that different from having a recurring meeting to use your personal meeting room. However, sometimes when I'm teaching, like every semester, I'll make the personal ID number different because, or not the personal ID, but my recurring meeting different because sometimes college students will book
Accidentally.
and then all of a sudden they'll just pop in.
Oh.
So you can circumvent that by changing it every semester. And then these are my meeting settings. Anytime I have a meeting, these are the default meetings settings. If I want to schedule a meeting, I go to meeting and it says schedule a new meeting. Now this is from the website. So this isn't, so this everybody can access this even if you don't download the Zoom app to your computer. You name it. And then if you want it to be
Oh, there it is. Okay.
So I have no fixed time. That's how I do like these where we can just pop in whenever. But if you want it to be every week on Tuesdays, you know, for your whole semester.
Right.
I've never used this choice, registration, but I'm assuming that you could do that if you wanted to have some kind of webinar or something where people register to come. I've never used it though. One of the things we choose is this, enable join before host. The advantage of that is if you and I are having a meeting and you get here before me and I do not check this box, you get almost like an error. It brings up a box that says that you have to wait. And if a student sees that, they may think that they did something wrong. If you want your students to be able to use the room for group work, you definitely need to check that or they won't be able to use it without you.
Okay.
Sometimes you can it's a good idea to mute your participants when they come in, especially when you know you're doing like a webinar and people will probably pop in late. Because whenever people come in, when their mic is on or whatever, as the host, you can mute them. But sometimes if you're right in the middle of a presentation, that's kind of hard to do. You can also have record the meeting automatically. So that's good if you want recordings of your students' group work, but I think it records it on their computer, the first person that joins.
Oh, that's really cool.
Let's see. I think that's pretty much all the settings.
So this is Deborah. If you're hosting it using your iPhone or your cell phone, your mobile phone, then you need the Zoom app. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
And I don't think that you can record from the Zoom app, but I'm not sure because I've never tried.
Oh.
I've never actually like hosted from the app and to see if you could record. I would assume that it would record to this cloud if you could do it.
Okay.
Because you might still
really take the guesswork out of who's participating. That is really a great option.
So what, the recording it automatically?
Yeah.
Alan, you don't have to download it onto your computer. What it does though is it gives you this, you can see it down here, this circle with the little camera, and it's on your desktop or you can search for it or whatever. And so I can go to the Zoom right away and log in and start the meeting without having to go to the website. That's the only advantage, or without having to click the link. But once you log in on the website, you can go to your meetings too. You just click meetings. It shows you the meetings that you have, and you just click it and it'll start. Let's see. I never use these reports, but here's another one. Amy, you can see who logged in by clicking usage, and it'll say the meeting, like if we do the one from last week.
Mm-hmm.
Was it the 24th? So this is the one we did last week. This is the one when I met with someone, and then this is the one, the meeting. And then it has the participants, and I could click it, and it'll say who was in the meeting, how long the meeting was.
Okay.
How do you get the
account, so they can say their name is whatever they want.
How do you get different meeting IDs? Do you request those?
No, you can just go to meetings right here. And then when you schedule a meeting, it gives you a new meeting ID.
Oh, I see.
You just click, here, I'll do it. And then I want it to be a recurring meeting with no fixed time, because that works for me. And I want people to join before host. And I just click save. And then it pops up this, this
I see.
is the meeting ID, 515470803. The actual link that takes them right there without having to have an account. You can add it to your calendar here. If you click copy the invitation, this is the invitation. You can email it to someone. This is what I posted in the announcement, that there's international numbers available. And then I always add the Canvas guide or the Confer Zoom guide, but that's your option. But and I don't think anybody ever uses it, but I just put it there so that they know.
Thanks.
Okay. If it was at a specific time, it would say Tuesday, 7 p.m. So if you're having a conference with a student, if you want them, sometimes you can have them create a Zoom account, and you could have them do a presentation, and they could invite everybody. They can add this to the discussion. That's one of the ways we do it in one of our other courses where everyone has to present. And then we have them put the meeting invitation in the discussion. And so they just copy and paste all this and put it right in there. And then, let's see. And anybody can get an account for free, but they're limited to 40 minutes. on their presentation, and then it'll kick them.
But we're not limited as instructors?
You're not limited as long as you have a pro account.
Oh, I see.
Which, as a California Community College faculty or staff, you can get one. You just want to make sure, right here when you click profile, and it says pro, that you have the pro users can host unlimited minute meetings with up to 100 participants. So when you have the basic account, at 40 minutes, it's like an old-fashioned collect call. The thing says, you have 1 more minute. But you can't put in more money. Yes, Alan, it does include adjunct faculty, because you would still be faculty, or you're still faculty of the university, and they give you a .edu email address, and that's all you need.
This is Deborah. I have kind of a different question. Can I ask it now?
Sure.
I was trying to add people to a Canvas class that I was creating, and I noticed if it couldn't find that person, it wouldn't add that person. So is the assumption that if you don't have an EDU account, you cannot add a person?
No, because I have
No, you can, and no.
No, that's not it. You can add anyone, because I in my, let me see. I'll look in mine.
It wouldn't let me add the. What was I doing?
Okay, here's my sandbox. I don't think I have people in this one, but I've added them to my other ones.
Huh.
So add people.
How do you do it? Like.
So this is my personal email address. So I just add me, and then I click next.
That's it. That's what I got.
Okay, and so it says select any you would like to create as new users. So if they don't have an account already, you yes, and you can put their name. So this is me in my other life.
Oh, great, great.
And then you just click next, and it sends out an invitation. So I can add them to the course. I can, and then they get an invitation in their email, and then they can add. I'm going to cancel it. But if you click add users, it sends out the email that allows them to accept the invitation to your course.
Thank you.
If you're ever teaching Canvas to other at your school, you can, because Gmail, you could get as many accounts as you want, right?
Right.
So you can make sample students for yourself. You can give them crazy names, or you can just call them, like, I could call them Drumm +1, Drumm +2, Drumm +3, and I could have them all in here. And I could allow students to sign in as my sample students instead of having their own, other faculty if I was trying to train them. And then they wouldn't have to create an account. They would just use one of my samples and be able to interact with the course in a hypothetical way.
That makes sense. Yeah, we have new faculty who some don't have, EDU address. So I was trying to add them to the class, and I see now what I was doing wrong. Okay, great. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Peter, when you can add them all by individual, and then just separate them by, I think it was a semicolon. It said in the thing, and then it'll make accounts for all of them and send. But for your classes, like your actual classes, your distance ed or student services will add everyone to your classes, so you won't have to add them to your regular classes. But yeah, if you wanted to, you just separate them by semicolons, and then it makes them all individually.
So at the same time we're doing this, you can also chat? as well?
Yes.
Oh, okay. And the chat would go to everybody beyond us. Everybody who's in chat.
You mean like this chat that you and I are zooming, right? That one?
Well, somebody just chatted something, got it, Peter.
Oh yeah, that Peter did, yeah. And
Peter's
so
here. He's
what
here.
you can, if you click, it's hard when I'm sharing, but I'll show you. I'll stop sharing and you can see it in the bottom. Go down to the very bottom of your screen and there's a little bubble and it says chat.
Right.
Okay. Click that and it'll bring up the group chat. And then on the far right in the bottom, it says to, and there's a drop down list. And you can send it to everyone, or you could just send it to individuals. Wanted to send a note to Amy or whatever, you can just do that. But yeah, you can do the chat. It's very helpful for if someone does not have audio when you're meeting, or if they want to just send a little note privately.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can still unmute you, Deborah. I can mute you and unmute you because I'm the host. So
oh, that's interesting.
you can mute and unmute people. I think you can kick them out too. But when I teach faculty, I never have to kick anybody out.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm getting people talking to me in chat, but they're not here in Zoom as well.
He can't talk. So he just wanted to let you know that he can hear, but he has no microphone, so he can't talk. So that's why he was just putting it in the chat.
Oh, that's what it is.
Right, Peter? No microphone, right?
Okay, so if I click on Peter or Alan or anybody, I can chat with them without everybody else seeing it, or?
Yep.
Okay. See, I'm thinking about using this as my office hour thing.
Yeah, I really like the option that you can get for that. We've done various office hours, and you always have sometimes when nobody shows up, and then you have opportunities where lots of people show up. So,
well, so you say I'm sorry.
You're fine.
No, you say it's beneficial to just have it open for everybody to come, or could I put it like 10-minute increments for you and this one, whoever wants to have a private, like a office hour visit or whatever?
Yes, if you're going to do that though, I would create different meeting IDs, because otherwise, even if you tell someone to come during a certain time, they'll pop in early or whatever. And if you're talking about something like grades or something, you don't want that to happen. So
Zoom you can't just have it individually.
It's based on the meeting ID. So if you when you're in I'll show you again. When you're in the Zoom page, where'd it go? Here it is. And you create the meetings. If you just schedule a new meeting, you can schedule as many as you want. You could have 5 that like say you could call them like meeting room 1, meeting room 2, meeting room 3, meeting room 4, meeting room 5. And then you could reuse those 5 numbers throughout the semester, just dish them out to different people. During 1 hour, you've got 5 different people with 5 different meeting IDs. You cannot be in more than one Zoom room at a time. So if you try to go from one to the other one, it'll kick you out of the first one.
Okay.
Cannot be in 2 places at once, even on Zoom.
Okay.
Unless you're on your tablet and on your phone.
Yeah. Where are these archived?
Generally, like when I record it, it saves it as a file on my computer. It'll say, let's see. It goes to documents. Yeah, and then it makes a folder called Zoom. Like I made it. I didn't even have to make it. And then, so then here it's titled based on the date that we met. And then it has the folder and it saves this file called Zoom_0. Here it is, Zoom_0. And then I just upload that into YouTube and give it a name.
Oh, great.
That's how I share it in the class.
That was where I was getting at. Thank you.
No, Laura, we don't, in this particular class, we don't look at other people's sandboxes, and because I don't think anybody just for this class has built their entire course. Just a couple, usually just like a module and a few things in this course. We have another course called OESP that's 12 weeks. And in that one, you create an entire introduction unit and a content unit. And with those, you get a feel for your whole course, but it is 12 weeks. And it's pretty intense. And that one you share your sandbox a little more. That's the one where you have to present at the end. And so in this one, we do not share sandboxes. I would recommend your campus talking with other people to look at their sandboxes or their courses and see how they're doing things, because everybody has a different style and how they're going to set things up. One has a series. They have the OESP course, which is 12 weeks. But they also have a course on assessments about creating tests and the assessment loop and things like that. There's a course called Introduction to Online Teaching and Learning, IOTL. And that course is more about the pedagogy surrounding, or andragogy is teaching adults, but the pedagogy surrounding online learning and how it's a little bit different than teaching face-to-face. That's Introduction to Online Teaching and Learning. And then there's the assessment class, and there's an accessibility class. Once you get comfortable using Canvas, learning accessibility in your course is a great idea, because it is the law to make your course accessible for all students. And this course is so basic. We don't talk about, any of the other aspects of the fun stuff and the buttons and the, a lot of the why and the how. We just want to get you going, because when Canvas is new to you, just creating pages and editing your profile can be hard. And so this is just baby steps. So there are the other classes, except for that OESP, the other classes are also 4 weeks. So they're short ones. But the OESP class is the one that gets you the online teaching certificate.
That's the pedagogical thing?
What's that? Which one's the pedagogical one?
Yeah, after this one, I gotta take one for first timers. You have to take another class.
There's one called Introduction to Online Teaching and Learning.
That's what this is, right?
This is Introduction to Teaching with Canvas.
Right.
It's very Canvas.
But you're right. I was told that I need to take a pedagogical class as well.
That's the one. Introduction to Online Teaching and Learning has a lot of pedagogy in it.
And then 4 weeks as well?
Yep.
And what will I do in that? The same thing? Basically.
It's a little different. I haven't been through that class. More theory.
Right.
And a lot of reflections and thinking about why and less about the how. Yes, the certificate for this class is just a certificate for completing Introduction to Teaching with Canvas.
Okay.
Online certificate.
Right. Do you teach the other one as well?
I do not. I just teach.
How would I find out when it's going to be offered during, say, the fall? Because I need to have this done by spring. So
right.
I missed my fall class, so because I don't have all this stuff, the pedagogical thing in this. So
let me see. When you go to the At One website, this is the At One website. So when you go to online classes, here is the Introduction to Online Teaching and Learning. It's
That's it?
the bottom. And it's also 4 weeks. I'm pretty sure.
Well, I thought it was like a week,
Yeah,
but
8/21 to 9/15, 4 weeks.
that's fine. F17.
Yep. And so it'll be offered now, like starting 8/21.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll be offered again right after that, I'm sure. So the probably mid-September.
It always have the same code, F17 A01?
This fall, and then A is Introduction to Online Teaching and Learning. So it's always going to have the A in it. So this one, OESP, is the 12-week course, and it'll always have an F. Creating accessible course content is E. Assessment, that's assessing digital learning, is D. Introduction to Teaching with Canvas is B. And then Introduction to Online Teaching and Learning is A.
And that's the pedagogical.
That's the pedagogical one. Yep. Online Education Standards and Practices is the big one, 12-week one. And in that one, they talk about course plans and it's kind of the whole thing. It doesn't have the super basics like this one because they expect you to already know how to use Canvas. And it just jumps into a lot more of the design elements with your course and why you would set it up a certain way and what, for what result.
Mm.
So you'll want to ask the school, just make sure that that one would be sufficient, the Introduction to Online Teaching and Learning. And that
Yeah, for me, yeah, it's this one and that, the A. The
okay.
Introduction to Online Teaching. That's all I need.
Good.
And then I can at least begin to try to do this.
Practice, practice, practice.
I heard that.
This is Deborah. I have a different question about modules. Is now a good time to ask it?
Sure.
So if you have a module, if you have actually it's not about a module, it's about a page. If you have a page and you have more than one tab and you have set that page as a prerequisite, so the student can go on until that student has completed that particular page, does that mean that the student must also go through each of those tabs?
I do not know that it can recognize that.
Yeah.
I think only, because just like it can't recognize whether or not they actually read the page.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
I mean, it doesn't have a time limit like they had to spend 5 minutes reading this page. It doesn't have that.
Right. Okay. So they can just actually click through it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the only way to test that is to insert little mini quizzes in between.
Exactly.
Have to take them. Which is helpful too, depending on what the content is.
Right.
That you're trying to do. So
what makes this screen go to a big picture of you rather than a little picture?
Up on the top right corner.
Top right corner.
Of Zoom, it has I have mine set up in gallery view. We call it the Brady Bunch view. And then you can see everybody all at once. And if it's on speaker view, you see whoever's speaking really big and everybody else is.
So when I speak, you can see me really big?
I could if I put it on speaker view when you were talking, but I have it on so I could see everybody.
Oh, I see. Okay. Got it.
It helps you because then I see me little and then I don't see my face like super huge. My face is so big on the screen.
Can you see yourself in full?
I could, but I don't have it that way. I prefer to see myself little. Helps me be less self-conscious about being on the camera. Which gets easier the more you do it also.
So, can you hear me? This is Lynn.
Hi, I can hear you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm a beginner, so everybody's ahead of me. I just wondered if you could show me how to set up on my homepage a link to the modules pages?
Yes, I can. One of the things that stupid menu keeps going away.
And I'm a beginner too, just so you know.
We're all beginners.
Don't sound like that.
I know it doesn't feel like it sometimes, but it is. You guys are all beginners. Everybody's at a different level of beginner. And then they always get one person who takes the class that wants the units and they already know everything. That happens. All right, let's see here. It likes to be slow when I'm zooming for some reason. It must take a lot of bandwidth. So I'm trying to get to my sandbox so I can show you.
Angela, how many units is that big course? Is it like 8?
It is 5, I think.
5, okay.
No, not sure. I would have to look. There's 2 options. I think it's 5, and then if you choose to present, it's an additional 2. You don't have to present at the end.
Okay.
It's if you do the class and you finish it and pass it with an 80%, you get a certificate of completion. And if you do the presentation, you get a certificate of achievement.
Oh.
All right. So let's see. I'm going to add a page. I'm going to show you how any page can be your home page when you're creating a page. So I'm going to call this one, I don't want an assignment, I want a content page. And then just so you know, this one's not published. You can see them right here. They have the clouds with the slash. You would not be able to see them.
Is
I
it
can't
possible,
click on the
sorry,
cloud.
is it
What's
possible for you to put the pictures of us on the top? Because I think I can't see what's under the pictures on the right side of the screen, and I think I'm missing.
Yeah. Hover over it, Lynn, where the pictures are, and click the little where it looks like a little minus sign or a dash, and it'll make them go away. They'll just be like a tiny box, but you can drag them around with the dark part.
Thank you. Done.
Okay, so also you can publish a page here. You just click it, and then it turns green, and then your students can see it. Or you can leave it unpublished if you don't want them to see it, but you always have to remember to publish or they can't see. So you click edit. When you're in edit mode, if your screen is large and rectangular, you will see a menu over here on the right. Okay?
Yep.
If your screen is smaller, I'll show you what it looks like. If it's like square, then it goes down to the bottom. See him down there?
Yeah.
Okay. So here I can, I don't like that. I like it over there. One of the things that I want to do is I want to add a link to take my students to modules.
Mm-hmm.
So these are called relative links. When you copy your course for next semester, they will still work. It's one of the reasons why you want to use this menu. So place your cursor in the rich content editor where you want the link. And then over here, you can choose. You can take them to a specific discussion. You can take them to a specific announcement, to a quiz, an assignment. But down here, it says course navigation, and you can take them wherever you want. So I want to take them to the modules. So I'm just going to click modules, and it's going to create the link, and the link is done and ready. So now I've saved it. And so now I'm going to see it not in the edit mode. and then they can just click on it and it takes them right to modules or whatever you chose for them. And then, see, it takes me right back to my modules page. That's what you're looking for, right, Lynn?
Well, so I have a homepage that I created, and I said, now, you know, like, because you advised me to help my students know where to go next. So I said, now, to start the class, click on this word, and it'll take you to the module page. But I couldn't figure out how to make that.
Yeah, so if you have a whole, say you didn't have this here, and you'd already written, navigate to the modules page, but you didn't know how to put in the link, okay?
Yeah.
But you already had your sentence.
Yeah.
Right. You can double click this and highlight it, and then click modules over here.
Okay.
Or, so you can call it whatever you want, you know. And now that's your link where the blue text is. Or you could just delete anything that's there. Put your cursor there and then click it, and it'll put the word in. So it's going to put in whatever you have that page called, or whatever the navigation is called, but you could call it whatever you wanted.
Okay.
Just by typing like in the middle. And I don't want to delete it, so I like to do it right in the middle and then delete my extra words, because otherwise I delete the whole thing and then my link went away.
Right. Good. Perfect. Well, while I was experimenting, and I was creating some new pages. Like, you know, so then I didn't need those pages, and I tried to delete them, but I couldn't. Is there a way to delete unwanted pages?
Yes, I will show you.
Okay.
Now here, this is one thing you wouldn't want to do in your course. You always want to use the terminology that Canvas uses. So you wouldn't, even though the modules page totally looks like a table of contents,
Yeah.
don't call it that, because then your students will be like, how come I don't see the table of contents over here?
Right.
So one of the reasons why the California Community College Chancellor's office chose Canvas as the Common Course Management System, it's so that students would have consistency as they move from course to course.
Okay.
Those of you that have used a Blackboard know that it's so customizable that every class that you go in is different. And so your students don't know what are they going to call the announcements? What are they going to, you know, call it? So they don't, Canvas does not allow that. You can't change the name of the course navigation items.
Got it.
Okay, so you can go to view all pages if you're just looking at your pages and you know what they are.
Yeah.
And over here, you can click on the gear and it says delete.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah, I think you can do it from within the module. You know what, though? If you do it from within the module, it'll take it out of the module, but it won't actually delete the page.
Okay.
So you have to go to pages to delete a page.
I have one more question about quizzes. Can I ask that one? I tried to make multiple choice questions with only 3 choices, and so it had 4 as a default, I guess. And I didn't realize that when I looked at my finished product, it had 3 answers filled in, and then like 4th one that was blank, like a folder, and I couldn't figure out how to get rid of that 4th choice because I only had 3 answers. I only wanted 3.
Okay, let's see.
Are you muting me, Angela?
What's that?
Are you muting me? Did I mute myself, or did you do that?
Oh, I probably did because I heard
Oh,
noise,
okay.
so I just muted everybody.
Oh, okay.
So let's go into edit. And down here where the choices are, you can just click the little trash can
Oh,
and it'll take that one out.
oh, brother. Oh, that's so simple.
It's okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right. So I am going to get out of here too. Did you guys have any other quick questions?
No. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Take care.
Miss Deborah, thank you very much. Yes, have a great night.
All
Thank
you have a great night too.
Bye, guys.
Good
Bye-bye.
night, everybody.
Hi. Are we all done then? It's over?
Yep, all done.
Okay. Thanks. Bye.
Thanks. Have a good night.
You too.